everyone, it's Maria, Solitary Witch Tracks here. It's been a while. I like making my videos, I guess, whenever I want, instead of doing them regularly now. I like making them when I feel like making them. Maybe it'll be more frequent. I kind of hope so, but there's a lot going on right now. I'm about to graduate with my master's. I've said that before. November 20th is when I'm doing my presentation on my direct-to-study, which is kind of like a thesis, but really short. So, and that's because I'm not going for a PhD. I am done with school. Anyways, so I'm working on that and working on schooling. I just started to volunteer to edit this ebook for a feminist entrepreneur company in Hawaii. So I've been doing that, and then I just made my own blog, miatheviking.com. You should check it out. There's only one post on this so far, but hers is a good way to get your name out there if you want to do editing or publishing or writing or anything like that. I know I said I was going to be a teacher, but I had a recent experience in a library that told me I wanted to do otherwise. So I'm working on getting my MLS. I'm going to take a break for like a semester to a year and establish myself in a career that'll pay nicely so I can pay off my loans and work on getting my master's of library sciences. And then I would be a librarian. It'd be awesome. Anyways, that's not what this post is about, but it was a little update. As y'all know, Samhain is on Saturday, at least for those in the United States, in the Western Hemisphere, yes. So Halloween will be on Saturday for us. I'm really excited because this is the first time I had like the whole entire day off. I'm actually going to go to a 2-hour yoga workshop with, her name is Fit Queen Irene on Instagram, and her name is Irene Papas. And she does rocket yoga, and it's really awesome. So we're going to be doing a 2-hour workshop with her. And then I'm definitely going to focus what time I have on honoring my ancestors. I have an ancestor altar over there with my Lola, and then also my Lolo, who just passed away over the summer when I was in the Philippines. And so I'm going to especially focus on honoring them now that they're both passed away. And then honoring the grandmothers and honoring the spirits, and Hecate, who is my matron goddess. Hecate is, I've had a long journey with Hecate, whether I know it or not. When I first started my practice, which was back when I was 14, 15, a long time ago, one of the first goddesses the first goddess I came upon in thinking about my matron was Hecate. I don't know why, she just stood out to me, but then I started reading about her, and I was very new to the practice and very black and white, non-balanced with my practice. And so, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. Okay. And so, I was a little scared to work with her because she's described as being very dark and being a deity who is the darkness kind of thing, like at least for my initial description, where it was like darkness, snakes, shadow self, and I was like, oh, shadow self, so I was like, ah. And so I didn't work with her. I ended up working with Carrie Dwyn, and then I was with the goddess Bastet for a very long time, who's still very dear to me. It wasn't until freshman year of college, so almost 6 years ago. Wow. 5 years ago. 5 years ago. It was almost 5 years ago when I started, when Hecate came back into my life. A lot of stuff started cropping up about her, like popping up about her on YouTube and the internet. And so I remember initially thinking about her, and so I was like, you know what, I'm a little bit I'm more balanced in my practice now. I have more knowledge from what I did when I first started, and so I was a little more open to the idea of working with her and studied research on her. And I came across Invoking the Balance and Moonlit Opal, who've also worked with her and explained their dealings and their experiences with her, and it just touched me, and I felt something felt right, and I felt I really needed to pay more attention to this goddess who's always been there and who's waited patiently for me to finally be like, okay, I was dumb, sorry Hecate, now what do you want me to do? And working with her, I find her to be very powerful, very forceful, almost like a very stern mother, stern grandmother kind of way. I never really saw her as a maiden, because she is a triple goddess in the sense that in Greek myth, Zeus gave her domain over sky, land, and sea, and she and Zeus are the only two who share that kind of power. And then also there have been interpretations of her being triple goddess, of being maiden, mother, and crone. Well, I've only seen her as like a matriarchal mother, kind of, and then as a crone, and kind of like how I view her is in the stage between matriarchal mother and crone. So like she's kind of in between there for me. And I started working with her, and she immediately was like, "You have shit you need to work on. You need to get on you're not on the right path. And you get on this path." Because she's a goddess of the crossroads, and so she led me to this crossroads and forced me, like, you have to make the decision where you want to go. And so that was very helpful, because I needed a little bit more discipline. And I needed to realize, spiritually, where am I going? What am I doing with my path? And I chose her path. I chose her path in the crossroads. And a strong symbol of her that really resonates with me is her torch. She is a cloaked goddess. Like, I view her as being cloaked. I have a picture I made of her, actually. It makes me a picture. She is a cloaked goddess, as you can see. She has the moon and stars behind her, because she's supposed to be nighttime darkness goddess. And she has her 2 dogs, and then the triple phases. So it's kind of like the maiden, mother, and crone in a sense, but it's more, for me, it's just more like her ability to see past, present, and future is what I also see as the triple form as, and her ability to look in all directions as what you could do if you were standing at a crossroads. You could look down all 3 roads. And so she's holding a key, and then an athame, and then have the 2 dogs, and then the moon behind her. And so I just started really resonating with that. And like at night, I would go out at nighttime and go underneath a lamppost or something and pray to her and leave offerings there. And I feel like she really helped me to understand the balance that I needed in my practice, because I was starting to fiddle around with balance, but I feel like she really helped me to find that balance that I really needed, and helped me to realize that it's not all black and white. It's such a gray scale out there, and when it comes to matching, when it comes to practice, when it comes to the real world, it's just nothing but a gray scale. And it was all about finding that balance in that gray scale. And so I was really grateful for that lesson she taught me. And I'm bringing her up now because of course, there was the Fool's Feast, I think is what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's a Fool's Feast. And it's like a Hecate feast you have. And also because she's a goddess that can walk between both worlds, that she walks the veil in a sense, that she can walk on the veil, that she can walk on the other side of the veil. And that also in Greek myth, she would guide lost spirits back to where do they need to go. And so I find her presence really strong at this time of the year, in which she is helping conduct me to my ancestors, conducting me to speak to my ancestors, to my Lola passed away, to the grandmothers, to the wisdom of those who've passed, and that I need to honor those, especially this time of year. And so that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be holding a little feast on Halloween or Samhain, probably on this little altar I have right here. That altar, I'll probably do it there. And to really give thanks and listen to the lessons they have to give me. And so that is what my Samhain plans are, other than, handing candy out to children. But that's something I definitely correlate Samhain and Hecate with. There's a lot of other goddesses and gods that you can honor at this time of year. You can even honor, I could even honor Shiva, because he is a god of the dead in the sense. He wears the ashes of the dead. So I could honor him, but he doesn't really resonate with me at this time of year. It's more along like with my yoga practice that Shiva really speaks to me. And so I'm going to be focusing on Hecate and my ancestors during this Samhain. There's also the goddess Hel, but I more associate her with the winter solstice, because Hel's domain is very icy, and it's snowy, and it's dark, and it's really a place and time for reflection. So it's really up to you. I wouldn't, I mean, if Hecate calls to you and you were in the same position that I was, kind of scared, kind of like, definitely listen to her. She may be a little harsh in the sense that she is very like, you have to do this, sorry, I don't care if you're uncomfortable, but you gotta, kind of thing. But sometimes we need that push. So, yeah, so those are my Samhain and Hecate plans. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Blessed be.